Hi, let's do introductions. I have this video and I also have one written. My name is Amanda Buxbaum and I am your professor this semester for Introduction to Nutrition at Montgomery College. I'm a nutritionist and I teach nutrition and I work in a nutrition store. I only came into the profession fairly recently, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but I have been moving in this direction pretty much, you can almost say, all of my life. It's not uncommon for people to become nutritionists who are sickly in some point of in their life, and I was sickly right off the start, right off the bat. I remember even as a 7-year-old, my sister saying, "Why are you sick all the time?" And I'm saying, "I'm 7, I don't know." And I actually now I know a lot of the reasons why I was sick when other people weren't, and why I was missing more school than anyone else in my elementary school. This learning first started most dramatically when I was 12 years old. I went from being a little bit sick, a lot, to being dramatically sick. I had a very serious version of Coxsackie, which is a virus. It's a cousin to polio. I got very weak. I got very incapacitated, and that's an understatement. I was told that I was going to be out of school for 3 months, and I was going to be out of the pool for the rest of the year. And I was 12, and I was new to junior high school, and I cried and cried and cried. And the doctor said, "It's a virus. There's nothing we can do." He always gave me antibiotics before for these bacterial infections, and now I had a viral infection, and it was just like, that's just the way it is. And I was 12 and I was fierce, and I was not going to let that be my story. And so I saw all these nutrition books all over the house. And so I started reading them. I started reading as a 12-year-old. I was lying in bed. I really could barely move, actually. And I started reading all about, well, everything, certainly infection, but diabetes, heart disease, cardiovascular disease. I was reading about everything. I felt like I wanted to see the whole thing, and so I could figure out the puzzle, figure out the picture. And so little by little, I would tell my mom, "Hey, go to the health food store and get XYZ. Go to the grocery store and get XYZ. This is what I want for my meals. This is what I want for supplements. This is what I want for my pep up smoothie," which is what she called them back in the 1960s and 1970s. And not only did I get better quickly, instead of being out of school for 3 months, I was only out of school for 1 month. And that was a very, very significant difference. And not only was I not out of the pool for the rest of the season, I was a swimmer. But just a few months later, I had a state record in my individual event of 50 butterfly. So number one in the state with a state record, and I was supposed to be incapacitated that entire swimming season. So as a 12-year-old, I really understood the power of nutrition. You could go from very incapacitated to healthy and normal, from healthy to normal to very achieved athletically. I really didn't have a particular talent in swimming, but I was fiercely competitive and I was fierce in my training. And when I had that huge nutrition, I was also able to be fierce in the intensity of my training. It went up in quality and quantity as a 12-year-old, unlike most of my peers. They weren't training quite like I was, but they didn't have the energy that I had because they didn't have the nutrition that I had, that I learned from when I was very sick. The years went on, and at 1979, when I was looking at colleges, I looked at nutrition programs, and I could not find any that were in the science department. The nutrition department, nutrition majors were in the home ec department, meaning there's a bunch of women who were looking to figure out how to be wives. Well, that wasn't gonna work for me. So I went to college and studied math. Math was always my best subject. I was sort of very analytical, very mathematical. So I got my degree and I did actuarial work. Actuaries are kind of like the mathematicians of the insurance company, kind of the hub of the analytics of the insurance company. I did that for 3 different companies, and ultimately I burned out. And what actuaries typically do when they burn out is teach high school math. So I did that, and I taught high school math in the Peace Corps. I taught high school math in Washington, D.C., and I have had 3 lovely children, and they had some health challenges. And I had to dig deep to figure those out, and I did. And the results of those diseases and problems were like none other. The doctor said he's never seen anyone who's plummeted like my daughters did. Never saw anyone who got over asthma the way my daughter did. And there were a number of other things that my children had that they simply got over. And it wasn't because I was lucky, it was because I did very, very intense nutrition. And so at one point, when I realized that the kids were growing up and I was going to need to go back into the workforce, I thought, I'm not going to go back into teaching high school math or doing actuarial work. I want to do what my heart always told me to do, which is go into the field of nutrition. So I went back and I got a master's degree. And the first job that I got was teaching at Montgomery College. And the second job that I got was doing actuarial consulting at the Village Green Apothecary. And then gradually I built my own business called Learn, Field, Choose Nutrition. So being a nutritionist is something that not just that I do and then I stop, it's something that I live all the time. I'm exploring new ways for health, exploring new ways to build and feel vitality, to feel energy, to feel something vibrant. And I reach to food. And it is so exciting that I can share that with people. I can share that with my loved ones, my family, and my friends. As they have health challenges, I can intervene and I can connect with them in this way. Certainly clients, it's what I do on a regular basis, day to day. And also with my students. One of the most exciting things is that I'm taking my passion, taking what was once criticized for as a child. When I was a child, I was 12 and I was telling adults what they should eat and what they should do. I remember my father saying, don't proselytize. You're a little kid. No one wants a little kid to tell them what to eat. And I was so hurt and stunned because I thought I had some really good information. And now I can proselytize and I get paid for it. And I am called a professional and it is so much fun. So I'm eager to communicate what I can, what I know with you to help you in so many ways, both inside the classroom and other questions you might have about your life outside the classroom that has to do with health and nutrition. And I look forward to hearing from you. I love hearing about how people do things that's unique in their own experience, their own life experience, and their own family and their culture, and what they have learned academically, what they have learned from their family. I want to hear you. One of the most fun things that I hear and I really perk up when I hear in class is someone raises their hand and they say, in my culture, and there's always something fabulous after that sentence. And I really am eager to hear all those things. So welcome to nutrition class. Let's explore widely. There are so many different ways that we can do things. There are so many truths and so many rights and so many, the world is incredibly wide. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say. And I look forward to teaching you so that you can be the best version of yourselves. Let's have a great semester. Bye.